Well, good afternoon. My name is Renee Mackillop. I am a farmer and the program manager of the Alex Community Food Center. The Alex Community Food Center, we are a place in the Greater Forest Lawn community in Calgary, where people come together to grow, cook, share, and advocate for good food. And we just opened our doors in September 2016 in the Greater Forest Lawn neighborhood, where about twice as many households live below the low-income cutoff. The average household income is about 30% less than the rest of Calgary, and a significantly higher proportion of people who are at risk for food insecurity. And we opened our doors in this neighborhood. It's a vibrant, beautiful community center, and we're using the power of food to build health, hope, and skills, as well as connection in this community. And it's a community where there is amazing food. It's a very high percentage of newcomers in Calgary and often first arrive in Greater Forest Lawn. So the food retailers and restaurants are really incredible, but there's also a very high number of fast food restaurants, payday lending, and there's no farmers market. There's a lot of transient activity because people come in and rent and then often leave. So as a response, the Community Food Center is a place-based approach to building community in this neighborhood and really using this kind of strength of good food that is already in the neighborhood to really bring people together and provide some education and opportunities, as well as we fundamentally believe that food is a basic human right. So we are a partnership between the Alex Community Health Center and Community Food Centers Canada. And this is a really interesting partnership for us because it tends to be a radical idea that health and food are connected. And we have nutritionists, doctors, all kinds of medical professionals that have been delivering healthcare to vulnerable populations in Calgary for about 40 years. At the Alex, but there's also a conversation there's actually no conversation. There's actually been a long kind of response to just handing out whatever food might be on hand, whether that's processed, unhealthy really food to these people who are accessing our community health center. And so it was a very obvious partnership between the Alex Community Health Center and Community Food Centers Canada to start changing the conversation around how food is such a fundamental part of health, but also a powerful tool for building community in neighborhoods like Greater Forest Lawn, where people are often very socially disconnected. So the Alex Community Food Center, we just opened our doors, but we're offering programming in kind of 3 key areas around access, and that really is addressing that food is a basic human right, and you can't often get on with your day if you haven't had a meal. And so we offer free nutritious drop-in meals. About 120 people will come. And then we also see about just over 100 people a week for cooking classes, kids, seniors, food fit programs, all around healthy eating on a budget. That skills program will also lend itself to our garden when we build our garden this spring. And then our third area is around engagement, and that's talking about the issues why people are hungry in the first place, and those root causes. And so that looks like social justice clubs, volunteering, and civic engagement. And because of our vision to create a healthy and fair food system, local food is a really important part of what we do. And oftentimes that looks like farmers and chefs who've been incredibly supportive of opening the first community food center in Alberta. And that's because they already understand how powerful food is. They also understand how important local food is and sustainability. But chefs in particular have an incredible platform for now talking about equity in our food system. And so because these chefs and farmers have been so incredibly understanding and quick to galvanize with the community food center movement around using food as a powerful tool for building community, for building health, skills, and hope, they're also now standing in solidarity around these equity issues, around why 4 million Canadians are food insecure. And in turn, we are supporting those local food producers when we can, and supporting their they're good, healthy food. And that's actually, you know, in the nonprofit sector in Calgary is a pretty significant effort in itself. And that's really this idea that just because somebody has less does not mean that they should feel lesser than, and that any food is okay, but actually healthy, local, culturally appropriate food is incredibly important to their health and to our community health. So we are working with farmers and chefs in that way around bringing more local food onto local plates. And the equity and participation in local food activities is so important. If you are somebody who has a good income, you can participate in things like farmers markets and CSAs, and in those really wonderful community activities or these wonderful forums like we're experiencing this weekend. But for so many people, that's not possible. And connecting with the local food system is important to changing the conversation and bringing people in the food movement to be aware of these issues that are happening, so that people who are working in food waste or in local procurement or in the local food economy, farmers are also understanding and educating themselves around these equity issues, so that we're very clear and articulate and better together at addressing them with good policy. So we at the Community Food Center is very early days, and we're working with farmers and chefs to see how we can continue to get more local food on local plates, and at the same time we're working to make sure that everybody has a seat at the table in the first place.